So I will bite my tongue, tame these emotions.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode number 10. Because this runs like MIDI cues, we are always one ahead of whatever it is. And broadcasting live from heaven tonight is Brandon in his angelic
celestial.
So we're talking about the song 2.
This is episode 2.
This is
Episode 10.
So tonight we're going to talk about how to come up with a lyrical concept for a preposition. And,
Yes.
So I don't know, JTL, you kind of talk through some stuff. So this is another, like Learn, this is another JT heavy vocal. And yeah, good stuff.
It is a vocal that I do, and it is a heavy song. Whether that was a mistake or not remains to be seen, but I am
The Spotify playlist, so I don't know.
First, Josh Waltman, do you want to explain what a preposition is?
Not really. No, that sounds like a terrible way to spend our podcast time. That's awful. Great content, guys. Welcome to the Dens podcast. Let's talk about prepositions.
I learned English today.
I never thought I'd be discussing prepositions.
It does present a challenge, though, right? I mean, if we are sticking to the sentence structure, and we had to have a song for each word. So, what do you do with the word "to"?
Well, you know what, and that's what I found crazy and challenging. But like when you actually look at it, it's actually kind of nuts. And so,
You know what else is nuts?
What?
The fact that it's exactly 2 minutes long.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I think that was.
You weren't supposed to say that yet.
Yes, we were.
Coincidence.
We're gonna jump all around on this one.
Yeah, that was just the biggest accident. We never do anything intentionally.
No, hold on. Usually the word is happy accident. It was just a happy accident. Worked out.
Recorded the song in a 2/2 time signature, not in a 2/2, but in a 2/2 time signature.
Brandon tracked the song in a 2/2.
In 2/2.
You heard it here first.
In a Desmond Tutu.
Anyways, so we don't get completely off track. I know. We're doomed from the start.
Can't go back.
Yeah, hell set this podcast ablaze. So if you look up the definition, if you look up the preposition "to" and kind of its definition, it's really kind of cool. Because "to" is the motion toward something. So if I'm going to bed, so I'm leaving wherever I'm at and going to bed, right? Going to sleep. I'm going to my job. It's this motion from somewhere to somewhere. So it's movement, right? So it's momentum, it's motion. And so not that we necessarily said, okay, so the song needs to be kind of upbeat and fast. But it's really cool that the song is that, because "to" is the preposition "to" is a momentum type of word, though it's short and sweet, right? So when we talk in the lyricism about the setting our tongue ablaze, right? And how do we get from foolishness to wisdom, right? A major obstacle we have to overcome in that travel is the tongue and taming the tongue. And so I just thought it was cool that once you sat down and actually because I mean, yeah, you're right. I looked at this song, this word, just like "are," and I was like, man, what kind of concept do you come up with for "to"? And so when we had that kind of framework, we're like, all right, let's just keep that in mind, that this is the song that we're using to guide us from foolishness to wisdom, and kind of operated on that. And so from there, JT, you had the majority of the lyricism in this. You wanna you wanna expound upon that?
Yeah, sure. So, yeah, I mean, like what Sean said, the idea of two kind of, I guess, kind of encapsulates this idea of like progress, or if not progress, then at least like turning from something to something else. And so, in my mind, I was drawn to James 3. Well, I mean, pretty much the whole book of James. But yeah, James 3, where it talks specifically about the tongue, and I think in James 1, where he writes about being quick to listen and slow to speak and slow to wrath. So I like just took all of those two words right there and made sure that's how we were gonna punch that, punch the end of the song there. Go nuts, get heavy, all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, like, James uses a lot of really cool metaphors, right there in the book, and so I decided to try to take that and maybe kind of like anthropomorphize the idea of like a wildfire, and it's something so small like just destroys entire forest, or like half the state of California or whatever. What up, California? um
The homies.
the homies.
The California scene is different though.
That's true.
Anyways,
But
continue.
thanks for that contribution.
It's so strange.
Yeah, I pretty much have lost track between the cat and Brandon. Yeah, so anyway, I mean, a lot of what I wrote was really just kind of like reworking scripture into something yellable. I mean, James 3:5-10 talks about how great a forest is set ablaze by such a small fire, and the tongue is a fire, a world of unrighteousness. The tongue is set among our members, staining the whole body, setting on fire the entire course of life, and set on fire by hell. So yeah, it seems like good starting material. Oh my gosh.
So,
I don't. Yeah. Does anybody else want to talk about lyrics or anything that like stuck out to them?
have to
I
change.
mean, it's funny that you said metaphors because, like, I feel like you did a really good job. I remember when I was, when you were laying down just like scratch stuff and you started writing the lyrics and then, went in there and then I was, reading some of it, just some of the metaphors that you used to like just describe things and the way that you kind of like just wove the words together. I really appreciate it. I was like, actually, some of the words I had to go use a dictionary and look up, which
That's
was
right.
pretty funny.
This could be the first song that used the word conflagration.
Not to be
We did
or
it.
send you.
Yeah, I mean, it really is like we took the idea of the tongue being a fire, like destroying everything, and just kind of ran with that fire metaphor and the fire imagery and stuff like that. So
I really liked how you punched home this idea of, from the same organ can come blessing and cursing. Like, like the same thing, a word like can either like sink the ship or completely steer it in the right direction, or you can bless the father but curse the brother. And like that's a really terrifying thought when you really think about it.
Yeah, I didn't want to like play with duality a whole lot, but like I mean, the song's called Two, so there's like there's that two sides or whatever of the blessing and the cursing.
It's TO, not TWO.
Oh shoot, you're right. That was accidental then.
Well, I think to
Um,
your point too, like there are people that take that like also think that that's okay, or they're not worried about, like, you know, they think their relationship with God is like this, you know, hyper spiritual thing, and then they turn around and just like, you know, spew hate out of their mouth towards people in the name of
yeah,
God, and it's just like, no,
nobody gets a pass.
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even know you were saying California Wildfire for the longest time because I didn't pay attention to what you wrote. I was like listening to stuff in the car that like you demoed out, and I was like, I don't know what he's saying there, but you know, the rhythm's kind of cool. I found that out in West Virginia, actually. Yeah, when we were getting it, and yeah, I really want to wear my cowboy hat tonight.
I
But
really want to be a California raisin. That's what I think about every time you say California wildfire.
California almonds.
about you with cowboy hat and a lasso, like Texas Pete.
Yeah, that's right.
So
That's my state's name.
sometimes live you should play that.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess so. Musically, this song was actually one of those songs that not that we necessarily started with lyrics, but the melodic rhythm, or the rhythm of what JT was screaming and yelling drove the song. We wrote the song around that, and so I remember sitting here back there and talking through that. And I think the original line was what is it? Set my tongue ablaze, cleanse each thought and phrase, something like that.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da. And that's kind of what we did. And so I kind of just sat here with the guitar and was like, da 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 da, and it came out in this weird 7/7/4 time signature. It'd be cool if we could write in a 7/11 time signature, because
Only if the song is a Slurpee.
right. Maybe we could get free Slurpees. Maybe it would be like their theme song. We'd have to make it. Anyways, so it's in 7/4, and then we changed to kind of like a 6/8 thing. It's really, I mean, it's a complicated. I could not sing this song and play this song at the same time, but for the most part, it's a fairly simple. We're not doing a bunch of chord. This is one of those songs where it's a riff based song and not a chord structure based song. So that's what makes it kind of different. We weren't weaving Taming Tongues into this song was not something we planned for or something that was intentional. It was actually, I think, one of the last things that we actually did in even tracking and recording the entire record before we were sending it off. We had a line that we had originally come up with to sing, and I just could never get it to like feel right in the song. But then when I dropped that Taming Tongues in there and kind of just like made it go like kind of off into the background, and it kind of reminds me of like a like in Home Alone, right, where they're like the choir singing, in the church or whatever, and those high pitched voices or whatever. And anyways, it just kind of anyways, it kind of
I love that movie.
it kind of reminded me of that, just kind of this eerie angelic choir that was just kind of dropped in the background, just kind of like another, just not necessarily lyrics, but just texture in that sense. I don't know.
Yeah.
Brandon, did you want to talk about the drums for this song?
Yeah, I mean,
Because I think
what's funny is like if you go back to the demos, I remember when we had a demo version of the song, and Waltman wrote that middle guitar part, and I know one of the influences for the song as well was Schema by Circus Survive, and I mean he's kind of doing something like that, at least in that song. But like it was, I honestly really didn't want to play that until I heard Waltman's lead guitar part. I mean it is a lead guitar part, but like I don't even know what part of the song. What would you call that? I mean, is it just like a musical interlude?
So so that part of the song, the marker in Pro Tools is Shreddy Mercury.
I remember that now. I remember that.
Yeah,
But yeah,
the
just
part of the
like
song.
I remember him playing that, and I don't know why. Like I tried to match it just because it was like, I don't know. I just really appreciated what he wrote, and so I remember you and I working on it, JT, and we were playing around with different iterations of it, and I remember I just played something goofy like that, the ride bell with the hi hats, and like we were like, dude, that's so Daniel Davis
Oh yeah.
From Under Oath Disambiguation,
Mhm.
and I remember that, and then talking about some of the stuff that like Matt Griner does for August Burns Red. Anyways, it was just kind of a big culmination of different influences, at least for me on drums. But I don't know. I actually really like the dynamic between like the big, what feels like more thunderous but still simplistic parts on the drums during all the other parts, and then when it like goes in for a shreddy Mercury, that it's just like it's kind of crazy and like kind of wild.
Yeah, so I don't remember. I don't know if you guys remember this, but like back when Under Oath's Define the Great Line came out, like it leaked. Almost all of it leaked.
I remember.
But so I think the last song on that from the leak was Everyone Looks So Good From Here. But it cut off like halfway through the song or something like that. But it was like, in the context of that album, it was like this left field, like super heavy, again, not like a lot of chord changes or anything, but like just kind of this riffy, heavy thing. And I knew that I wanted the song to be something like that, except I didn't want it to leak months earlier. Fortunately, that didn't happen.
Not that anyone would have
Would
cared.
anybody have cared if it would have leaked?
That's true. I
It would have
don't
gone
know.
into the abyss of the internet.
I mean, I have seen our albums like on sites for pirating things. Don't ask how I saw them.
I was gonna say, what were you pirating?
He was trying to get the new American Arson.
Oh, he was
So,
trying to pirate the new American Arson.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's very anti-establishment.
Yeah,
They
I
would
mean,
approve of that.
anyway, so yeah, that was Everyone Looks So Good From Here. Definitely another musical inspiration. And then Thrice's The Messenger off of the Fire EP. Again, kind of just like that heavy, quick, like we're just gonna like boom, boom, boom. That's the song. And like Waltman said,
I did really like that about this song.
yeah, like Waltman
It just
said,
goes
like
hard and stops.
wrapping it into like a 2-minute package and putting a bow on it and saying like, yeah, you want to listen to it again, just hit the track back button. But we're gonna give it 110% right there in a song. So I guess the other funny thing about this song is if anybody's watched NBC's The Good Place, there is, when I was laying down some of the rough vocals, like demoing stuff out, there's a take, and it's probably still in Pro Tools, where instead of saying like curse this forked tongue, I say fork this cursed tongue. It was unintentional, but amusing all the same. So
Nice.
That's about it. That's like all the inside baseball I have on this song.
Waltman, do you want to talk about the guitar approach?
Sure. So you guys sent me a crazy weird track, is what happened. And
Yeah, we did.
the intro was super chaotic and everything. So it kind of made me think about one of my favorite movies is The Dark Knight. And so there's a scene in The Dark Knight where the Joker like is released from prison or whatever, and he's got his head out the like driver's side window, and the background music during that part has got like this air siren. And it's like it's really creepy in the context of things because it's like the chaos is about to hit. And so it made me think about that part. So I was like, how can I recreate sort of an air siren, like Joker-esque type of guitar sound? And so I took the B and the E strings on the guitar and tuned them to C so that they would drone with the bend. And really got that like that bend that sits over top of all the chugs or whatever, all the gents, so that it kind of gives that creepy like air siren sound. So and then the middle like instrumental interlude or whatever, it's really not that impressive, and I don't think it's that impressive anyway, but it's more impressive when you realize all of that is tapped. And so that's a stupid part to tap. Honestly, it's ridiculous. So I don't know if I'll ever play that live, but we'll see. I do want to say this. I've been sort of thinking about this. I have a fabled Flaming Tongues hot sauce. It's property of yours truly that I will personally send out to any guitarist out there that wants to do a cover of the lead and the rhythm together. First person that does it, I'll send it to you. So tag us on Facebook or social or whatever. If you figure out the parts and do a cover, and we'll send it out your way. So it's a super weird song. It's only 2 minutes long, but it's a weird song to play. So yeah, just throwing that out there.
Last for 2 minutes.
Brandon's gonna do.
Turn down the gauntlet.
He's gonna do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a cover with my. I'm just gonna sing all the parts.
Yeah, you should.
So was what?
Give us a little taste of that.
I can't do it.
We're
I
waiting.
almost did it, but then I didn't want to embarrass myself.
Oh,
Even though you really want me to embarrass myself.
yeah, of course. Why wouldn't I?
Always.
We're gonna say JT.
I was gonna ask if The Dark Knight was one of his favorite movies because it was number 2 out of a trilogy.
Yes.
Was that intentional?
Oh man, no, that was
The answer is always yes.
I guess that's our favorite number. There's 2 T's in the title. So,
True.
on that note, all right. Well, if you guys don't have anything else, we're not going to belabor this any longer.
belabor.
Belabor.
Yeah. How long is this episode?
It's not that long, so it should be
Is it
good.
like 2 minutes?
Yeah,
2
it's,
minutes.
yeah, basically.
Now we'll just compress it at the end, so it just speeds up, and we're all talking chipmunk, and it's still only 2 minutes long.
Basically. So make sure you check out the next 2 episodes that we have left coming up. I don't know. It just worked out that way.
The last 2.
Keep and quiet. Keep has 2 E's in keep. So use that. So anyways, thank you guys for supporting us. Thank you guys for watching us, and we'll see you next